So let's go to your cereal choices. So we picked out 3 kinds when we went back to the grocery store. One was the Honey Bunches of Oats, one was the Cheerios, and the other was the Captain Crunch Berries. So let's look at the nutrition facts labels. Bhakti, I'll turn it back to you. Based on what we talked about, is there anything you would do differently or any choices you would make differently?
I would first see the serving size.
Okay. So the serving size for the Cheerios is 1 cup. For the Honey Bunches of Oats, it's 3/4 cup. And for the Captain Crunch, it's 3/4 cup.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good catch because they're actually different.
Different, yeah.
Okay.
The second would be calories, and calories from fat and sugar
Okay.
would be my concern.
Okay. So let's see which one has the most calories. This is 100, this is 120, and this is 100. But because this is 1 cup, that would mean that this is actually less than 100 calories.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then you said you wanted to look at what? The calories from fat and the calories from sugar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's look at the sugar. Or we'll look at the calories from fat. Calories from fat, it seems like it's the same for everyone. But, again, because of the serving size, it seems like this one is the least.
Right.
Okay, now let's look at the sugar. Okay, this one has 1 gram. Honey Bunches of Oats has 6 grams. And the Captain Crunch with Berries has 11 grams. Very interesting.
Yeah, I never looked at that when I picked up my Honey Bunches of Oats.
So it does have some sugar, probably from the honey. Okay, so I think based on that, if we were going to look at the calories, what has the least and what has the most?
I would say Cheerios has the least,
Okay.
and Honey Bunches of Oats would have the most.
Okay. For the sugar, what has the most and what has the least?
So the Captain Crunches has most sugar.
Okay. What has the least?
And the Cheerios again has the least sugar.
Okay.
So Brian,
Yeah.
do we also have to look, since it's cereals, what do you think about the fiber?
So I think fiber is really important because you might have something that has sugar in it, but if it has a really good source of fiber, that would also be good. Usually I look at things that have more than 3 grams of fiber, but because, I mean, sometimes you can't really find more than 20% of the daily value, remembering that that's a good source. You can't get it in certain breads and cereals, but I think 3 grams for me personally is something that I look for. But let's take a look. So for the fiber in this one, for Cheerios it's 3 grams. For the Honey Bunches of Oats it's 2 grams. And for the Captain Crunch it's 1 gram. So actually, for the fiber, what has the most?
The Cheerios.
Okay.
And the Captain Crunch has the least.
Okay. And fiber is something that you want to have, right? The sugar is something you want to limit. And I guess calories is something that you want to have sort of a good balance of.
But with the right nutrients.
Exactly.
I see.
So, as you can see, this was really complicated. We had to bring in the serving sizes, we had to compare things that we should have, what we shouldn't have. What's the take home? What, like, if you had to buy this all over again, what would you buy?
The Cheerios for sure.
The Cheerios?
Because it has calories and good nutrients, but it's also least in sugar.
Yeah.
And it has the highest fiber compared to the rest.
Yeah. And I think even though we don't have the ingredients, I'm sure in the ingredients section we would probably find some more details, like what is the first ingredient. Okay. Do you have any other questions?
So I know that I just was talking about fiber and you said 3 grams of fiber is good. But how do I look for fiber in milk?
That's a really good question. As you probably noticed, there's 0 grams of fiber in the milk and 3 grams of fiber in the Cheerios. But I'm not saying that you should only pick Cheerios and not have milk with it. I'm not saying that just because it has more of a certain nutrient, it's a better source. And I think that brings us to the final point of today, and that is comparing within the same food group.
If I'm comparing cereals, just compare the ingredients within the cereals?
Exactly. So cereals with cereals, milks with milk, meat products with meat products. For example, we'll find more calcium, I'm guessing, in the dairy foods than you'll get from Cheerios. And that's why we try to promote that you have different food groups all in the same meal. So the key points for today are just to pay attention to the serving size, calories, types of fat, right? Because there are certain fats that you want to have and not have, types of carbohydrate, protein, ingredients. Remember, the first ingredient is the most in the food, the vitamins and the minerals. Yeah, so that's the nutrition facts label.
Oh, thank you so much, Bryan.
You're welcome.